if there's like a brand MVP or like minimum viable brand things that apply regardless of whether you're just starting out, how much money you have, like, hey, this is what you need to get started. And then these things you probably want to look at when you get a bit bigger and concentrate on. And then when it goes corporate, these are the kind of things that you should be focusing on.
Rotor Estate Brute from the Anderson Valley. Like a nun's.
Cheers, and thanks for coming on the show.
Cheers. When you're just getting started, you probably need some fundamentals for Little B brand so people can actually find you and see that you're different. And then you need to deliver on some of the other fundamentals that drive the whole category. If you create champagne, it's got to be crisp, it's got to be flavorful, it's got to have a nice experience of opening it with the foil and the cork. You got to hit some of those. Now, if you're going to be different and you're going to create something that's distinctive and unique, that's pretty useful too. But you're always going to be straddling the category drivers with things that differentiate you or make you stand out.
Like Peter Thiel says in his book 0 to 1, he says, don't worry about investing in brand until you're 50 mil ARR kind of thing. And I think that is somewhat directionally true, but also a tiny bit false. I find when people are just starting out, the founders are the brand. They're the people selling it. They're the people selling it to investors. Like they embody the brand. And the small business is the same. Sometimes it is the key founder or organizer that then they need, when they get a bit bigger, to separate themselves out from the organizational sort of brand a bit, because that's key personnel risk. They're investing in themselves in a way. So they are investing in brand, but it's just a bit more subtle. I think what Peter Thiel's trying to say is like, don't invest in brand advertising campaigns until you're of a certain size, because it's like you've got bigger fish to fry, if you know what I mean, and distribution problems and product problems to work through and all that kind of thing.
Right. And so this gets back to the 4 Ps, right? That you have to assume that brand is what the whole organization serves, and brand is not a division of the design department. That even those startups that are just pouring money into product, that's building a brand. And the price that it's sold for, the subscription model it uses, the way you're getting distribution, all of those things build the brand. You talked about the software firms that get recommended by McKinsey. That's your brand, is that McKinsey is referring you. And so you do have to focus on that. You're right, it's not an ad campaign, but that doesn't mean you're not building a brand. And then the flip side is also true, that you see a lot of companies completely stall out when they realize, shit, we've been so hyper-focused on product and sales and CAC, right? Customer acquisition cost is the new hot term. CAC. So you hear people focused so much on that, and then things kind of stall out, and they're like, what the hell happened? And they realize they have to actually do top of funnel work and get people, when they're not in market to buy, get people to think fondly of them at all, and to remember that they exist. Because a lot of these companies, even 50 million, most people still don't know they exist at all. And so that's where you do need to do brand advertising or some kind of top of funnel work to keep the growth going. For instance, one of the most important things maybe as a small brand is sampling. People have to experience your brand. First and foremost, Red Bull. Red Bull grew from zero to hero, one of the world's largest brands, very much on the back of sampling the crap out of that product. They had Red Bull Mini Coopers everywhere. They had girls with Red Bull backpacks, Red Bull minivans, Bull motors. They still do it to this day. They still do it. Yeah, I was just at a sports event here in Boulder. Sure enough, there were 2 women walking around with backpacks, coolers full of Red Bull, handing out Red Bull, as if we don't know. But you know what? There are always new people to acquire as customers. So sampling, you're right. Maybe sampling matters so much more than some kind of brand campaign that a big CMO, a big brand CMO would want to introduce.
You're talking about CAC. Another big acronym that SaaS like to use, or software, is PLG, which is product-led growth. And I'm like, PLG is just sampling, really. Okay, it's inaccurate. It's just a term that I created. But I'm like, really, what you're talking about here as a free tier is product sampling, like for a service. Like that's what it is.
It's true.
You don't need a new term for it.
They need new words for the same old stuff.